Tonight, Governor Newsom is addressing the state's financial outlook for the first time since releasing his budget proposal last week. This comes after the nonpartisan Legislative Analyst Office predicted a nearly $18 billion deficit, which the governor disagrees with. ABC's Tenshini Nguyen is breaking down the response for us tonight.
Alex, the governor spoke about funding for homelessness resources today. He acknowledged the LAO's report and even agreed about the challenges moving forward, but he also added it's a pessimistic prediction. Republican Senator Tony Strickland says it's time for the governor to be realistic about the state's finances.
The budget means little at this moment, means very little. I'm an expert on this.
Governor Gavin Newsom is addressing criticism of his recent budget proposal a week after his director of finance presented it.
The uncertainty is unprecedented. May is the real budget process.
That uncertainty is funding from the federal government. Newsom says cuts to health programs are making the budget difficult.
We anticipate about $1.1 billion in cuts to Medi-Cal under H.R. 1 in this fiscal year in the budget that I'm promoting. About $300 million as it relates to SNAP benefits, CalFresh benefits, about $1.4 billion.
And when it comes to Medi-Cal for undocumented immigrants, a big sticking point in last year's deficit, the governor says
we put some brakes on that last year, on that expansion as it relates to capping the enrollment, because we needed to do so in order to maintain our fiscal prudence.
This year, Governor Newsom proposed a $348.9 billion budget and did not include any new spending or cuts and predicted a $2.9 billion deficit. Governor Newsom says the state experienced an unexpected boost in revenue, $42.3 billion, and a strong stock market. The LAO predicts more volatility in the stock market, leading to its $18 billion deficit prediction. It's something the governor dismisses.
Every year it's the same kabuki.
However, the governor says the May revise will address those concerns.
There's strategies, there's opportunities, there's reforms that are underway, there's new strategies that we're considering, consolidations and efficiencies and opportunities that are reflected. There's also a need and desire to continue to advocate.
Republican Senator Tony Strickland has been openly critical of the governor's budget and believes he isn't actually focused on the state's financial health.
That means he's going to use accounting gimmicks and not solve the problem and just pass it on to whoever the next governor of California is, because he wants to run for president of the United States.
Adding that Californians need someone who is focused on the state.
We need serious solutions from a serious leader. And a serious leader would take into account, this is an $18 million deficit. What are we going to do to root out waste, fraud, and abuse?
And today, Governor Newsom also addressed the ongoing immigration crackdown in the country. When asked if he would deploy the National Guard to respond to immigration enforcement in the state, he said it depends on the criteria and conditions and if necessary. He adds he won't speculate beyond that what that would look like, Alex.
All right, Jeannie, thank you.